7:36 at AM 990 KWAM. It's Memphis this morning. A nice, cool Tuesday. Just a beautiful morning Tuesday, April the 5th. Right here at AM 990 KWAM. It's Memphis this morning. Time for the AM 990 Business Spotlight. And for that, of course, always, here's your host, George Bryant.
Thank you, John, and welcome to our studios on this beautiful Tuesday in Memphis, Tennessee. Springtime, and the pollen is out, and it's got John sneezing a little bit. But let's talk growth with Tracy Strickland of Triumph Bank. Welcome back to our studios, Tracy.
Good morning, George. I like every day that I've been coming, it's been sunny, so hopefully we'll keep the trend up.
I think so. Tuesdays.
Yes.
Tuesdays, beautiful
Tuesday
Tuesdays.
Sunshine. That is right.
We're so happy to have you here. Tracy has joined us doing a segment. She's with Triumph Bank, and they're celebrating their 10th anniversary, if you can believe it. This is a really cool bank that started back in 2006 in some tough times, and she's got a special guest in the studios. Tracy, talk to us about who your guest is today.
Well, I'm excited to introduce our Senior Vice President of Cash Management, Tim Clements. He is here to share about our online banking and our mobile banking, not only for our personal customers, but for our small businesses that we were touching about last week. And,
right.
You know, that focus is just about making banking easy and allowing you to bank anywhere at any time. So Tim is our expert, and I'm thrilled to have him this morning.
I understand, Tim, welcome to our studios.
Good morning.
I understand that you have been in banking for quite a while, 40 years?
Will be 40 years in August.
That's incredible. Hang on. What I wanted to ask Tim a little bit about, Tracy, is that talking about the 40 years, what's really cool is that you've had that experience with those larger banks, and now you're working with a smaller community bank. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Correct, and thank you for identifying that I've been around this
But
area.
he started when he was 5. He was a novice.
And it's all been in the Memphis market, so I'm very aware of what's going on. Got the temperature here in the city, and starting when I did, online banking was very different than it was today. And it was the download software to your PC, limited information, dial-up modems, and technology has come a long way since then. And I'm very proud to say that Triumph Bank is there on the leading edge at all times, trying to make sure that we provide our customers current technology.
I'm really impressed with that. And I think our listeners are going to really be blown away to hear the progress you guys have made on the technical side. And what is available off your website, and tools for our listeners if you're, it's going to start a business, run a business, and also for regular customers. And it's just a fascinating story. So we want to come back in a minute. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll come right back, and we'll hear a little bit about some of that online banking tools, and then also the story about how you rebranded 2 years ago. You're listening to AM 990.
The AM 990 Business Spotlight. Here's your host, George Bryant.
Thank you, John, and welcome back to our studios. Our special guest today, Tracy Strickland of Triumph Bank, with a new segment, Let's Talk Growth with Triumph Bank. And their phone number to reach them is 901-333-8800 or triumphbank.com. Great website. They are your local community bank, and we're very impressed with all the progress that they have made with their bank, tweaking it down where it can really help their serve customers and business. And matter of fact, Memphis is supposed to be one of the, it's like a boiling, what do they call it, a crock pot for small businesses. I mean, it's just amazing what comes out of Memphis and startups and all that. Tracy, your special guest, Tim Clements, in the studios with us. He is the Senior VP of Cash Management. I like that, cash management.
Tim has lots of hats he wears at Triumph, but he brings so many years of expertise from those larger regional banks, and has really made such a difference in how we're able to serve our customers.
That makes such a big difference. He comes with quite a bit of experience. But what I like about it is how it's real hands-on. I think you had said earlier before we came upstairs to the studios that Tim actually is involved with every one of your business clients that you guys have. That's pretty cool.
He is, and I was going to ask Tim to share a story about some of the things that we've been able to help. He has a particular customer that he's made great progress with.
Yeah, well, in George, obviously, being in the business world, particularly here in the Memphis market, with small businesses, many of those business owners are also personal customers of ours. So we're challenged with making it easy and convenient for those customers to integrate that information together. I've got a situation where we've got a husband and wife that own a company, been in business for a little greater than 10 years, and he's out on the road selling products and services, and she's at the home office running as an office manager. And they both need to have knowledge of information that's going on throughout the day. And so he doesn't have to pick up the phone and call her and say, what's going on with this particular item or whatever. So he can simply go and look at his mobile device and be able to have the same information at his fingertips that she does. If they're generating transactions out of the home office and he needs to approve it, he simply gets an alert on his mobile device. He can then pull over if he's traveling or wherever he is, safety first, of course, and he'll read that alert and see that he needs to approve a direct deposit, for instance. Or, we're big into fraud prevention. If they're using what we call our positive pay product and an item's presented against their account that they haven't notified us to expect, then he can look at that item and say, this is not something that we have generated. We do not want this paid. Things of that nature.
Right. That's fascinating. And Tracy, we were talking about some of the rebranding that happened 2 years ago. Tell us a little bit about what that's...
Right. Well, we rebranded the entire bank in 2014 with the theme Let's Talk Growth. That's the name of our show with you. But I worked very closely with Tim as we were rebranding and creating our whole new website with our graphic designers, Kit Bash Design, out in Collierville. And we launched that site about the end of June 2014, and then Tim and I alongside were working on the rebranding for not only the personal online banking but the business to make sure that it was a very seamless customer experience. And so we actually pulled together some of our customers on the business side and the personal side and brought a focus group together and said, we knew that our online banking at that time was not what it could be and what it should be to serve our customers. So we asked them, what are you really using the most? What's more effective? What are you looking for immediately? Like on the homepage when you log in, what are the couple of things? Account balances? Do you need to move money between accounts? Do you need to pay people? Tell us what you're looking for. And so we worked with our bank processing, business to revamp the whole thing. And so what we feel like is, we're honestly always evolving. So it's not to say our online banking is going to stay forever the way it is. We'll constantly be looking for new ways and new technology, to bring to our customers. But in hand, we'll obviously, work with our customers so that they understand how to use it. I remember going over actually, we had one of our customers walk in and said, I got locked out of my online bank, when you keystroke real fast on your phone and you get locked out. So I immediately called him. He resets them immediately. And then I sat down. They were a personal customer and really just took a few minutes. And any of our retail team will be able to do that when you come into the office and really walk them through so that they understand everything. A lot of times you're just looking for, I need to see what my, balance is today. What's my latest transactions, that sort of thing. But you can pay bills, obviously. You can pay people. We have this product called Pop Money, and that I get so excited when I talk about Pop Money. And Tim, I know his son is in school, and so you can do everything online, but you can also do it on your phone and on your tablet. So no matter where you are. So if Tim is tell about how you send money to your son and how quick and easy it is.
It is very easy. There's a quick one-time setup, and of course, having a son in college, he's going to say, Dad, I need some money. So I simply go to using my phone device or my PC and say, send $200 to my son.
It puts money on his card?
It immediately sends a text to him and lets him know that money's being deposited into his bank.
To a bank, and he goes...
correct.
Okay.
He just basically accepts it on his phone. And that's the confirmation of the delivery of the information.
Yeah, that's fascinating. We're talking with Tim Clements with Triumph Bank and Tracy. Let's Talk Growth. We'll be right back. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to dig down a little deeper about all the great services that they're offering over at Triumph Bank. You're listening to AM 990.
Join AM 990 KWAM on Facebook.
Thank you, John, and welcome back to our studios today. Our special segment, Let's Talk Growth, with Tracy Strickland, Triumph Bank. We're talking about money. Tracy, welcome back to our studios. Thanks, and George. Your special guest, Tim Clements. Tim is the Senior VP of Cash Management at Triumph Bank. And one of the great things that we were talking about is how wonderful you guys have you moved through with technology and everything with online banking. And during the break, I was talking about safety is something that I'm always concerned about. Talk to us a little bit about that, Tim.
Well, and we take safety very, very seriously. Obviously, with Internet banking, people are concerned. You hear all of the hackers and the credit card things that are going on out there. So we certainly do take that as a high priority, and in a future segment, we'll actually dedicate that entire segment to fraud prevention, identity theft, and how our customers can protect themselves and how we're protecting them.
Right. That sounds really interesting, too. On the Tracy, you were talking about all the different features that you have on either mobile or you could do it on your iPad. What's important for a business owner to know about those services that you guys are offering?
Well, one of the new features we've just made available to our business customers is something we've had for our personal customers since about a year now, and that is the mobile deposit capture. And you may be out and about for, I guess, smaller businesses that may, maybe it's a plumber, an electrician, or just any other business that they travel a good bit and they get checks for their payment for the services. Instead of having to bring it back and figure out in their busy day when they're going to come to the bank or have somebody go to the bank, they literally obviously can pull up their phone, go to their Triumph app, and with literally 3 clicks of the button, they can take a picture of the front of the check after they've endorsed the back of the check, and it's in their account, and they don't have to go to the bank. And it's just the ultimate service.
That's interesting.
I know Tim's got something he'd like to add.
Tim?
An example that I gave earlier today about the husband and wife that run the business. The husband's out on the road. He's calling on clients, and typically if he's out there collecting funds, he got a check from a customer. It would be 3 or 4 days before he's back in town and can make that deposit. Well, with mobile deposit capture, he can deposit that check on the spot. And the money is back in their account
immediately,
much quicker than otherwise.
Great for cash flow management.
Absolutely.
How's that's banking anywhere, anytime at Triumph Bank. How's the economy right now? What's your sense on that, Tim, for small businesses?
Well, certainly, things are looking up for the smaller businesses. You see more growth out there. Startups, particularly, and we're actively involved with some startups. We've got, in fact, another example would be 2 young gentlemen that started a business, technology-driven. They are blowing and going today.
Wow.
And we help them get where they are in that sense. I mean, we gave them some guidance, not only from a standpoint of giving them technology that integrates with what technology they have today, but also some business sense, because that was an avenue that they really didn't have an expertise in. And we're very proud of where they are today and the fact that we helped them get to some point where they are today.
That's where a lot of entrepreneurs are not, money people. They're idea people.
That's right.
And,
exactly.
Yeah, so it's great to have your expertise there, to be able to help them. In sense, do you? I get the sense that banks, we've been through those times from the time that you guys started your business. That banks were not lending, and but do you think it's loosened up a little bit?
I'd like to actually interject in that. It was very exciting. We've prided ourselves, obviously, in being a highly, commercial focused bank, and probably 80%, like we were talking about last week, of our customers are small business owners. And last Friday, we opened up the Memphis Business Journal, and out of all 23 Memphis-based banks, we were ranked number 2 in commercial lending, right behind that largest statewide bank that I won't say. But we're real proud of that. And, we're here for the business owner, and we want to make their lives as easy as possible, whether it is them coming in and let's consult and let's be their financial quarterback and get a plan together to figure out, okay, this is where, we would, guide you to go. But then, with Tim's products and services on, being able to bank anywhere, it's just the ultimate convenience. And that's where we are, as just a population now. We want that, microwave results. We want it. We don't want it the crock pot anymore. We've got to get our results immediately and get them back to us. So we'd also like to direct all of our listeners, if, I'd really like to know more about Triumph's online banking, clearly come into one of our offices, ask for Tim, ask for me, but then any of our retail team can help. But if you go to our website, triumphbank.com.
That's right, great website.
There's a link at the bottom and also under the personal and business tab that takes you directly to our education center. We wanted to provide like 24/7 education to our customers. So if you wanted to know more about that mobile deposit, is that really safe? How can I really take a picture of my check and get it in there? Or how do I navigate around online banking? A little bit more about identity theft. Tim will come back in a few weeks and talk about that. But again, it's banking anywhere and making it easy for our customers.
That's awesome. Let's talk growth. Tracy Strickland and special guest today, Tim Clements, will be back next Tuesday at 7:30. Make sure you check them out. TriumphBank.com. The 4 locations, Poplar, I-240, Germantown, Collierville, and now Arlington. You're listening to AM